Support my content by becoming a patron on patreon.com/GiantMusic. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. Today,
Hey!
What?
Hey!
What?
Hey!
Today we are talking about
No! Hey! Shut up!
what?
This isn't your podcast anymore, Giant.
What are
And
you,
yes, I'm using Giant because I am upset with you.
what are you saying? The Anime Podcaster? No, it's definitely our podcast. This is a shared thing.
Yeah, our podcast, and yet you do almost every single intro.
Okay, so wait, do you want to do the intro for this one?
Yeah, fine, I'll do the intro.
Wait, do you? Okay, you do it.
On second thought, no, this is your podcast. You did start it, so why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode where Hotshot interrupts me of Anime Podcasters. All right, I'm just jumping into announcements. You've missed the train. We are long gone. Guys, today we're going to be talking about... So there's two different topics. Explain your topic, Hotshot.
Yeah, damn right. Okay, I'll take over. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Anime Podcasters. I'm the real host, Hotshot Ginger, and with me is the bumbling buffoon, Giant Music. How you doing, buddy?
I hate you so much.
Anyway, so what Giant was trying to say but failing at is this topic is mainly led by me because it is a video game topic. As you guys have known by now at this point, I'm sure, is I am a gamer, and that means I spend more of my time playing games than watching anime. But I do play anime games. So what we're going to do is there are two top 3 lists that I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk with Jane about. And one list is going to be series that started as anime and then turned into a game. And then the second list is going to be games that then got their own anime adaptation. Makes sense now? I'm talking to you, Jaden. Makes sense now?
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Before we get into the topic, though, I have a quick announcement I want to get to. First of all, we have a iTunes review. I went over it with Keo, but I do want to go over it with you, Hotshot, because it was directed more at you. Another iTunes review from Kakashi Ning Dogs and Company. They say... And this is amazing, Hotshot. The podcast is great. I love the recent episode. I wish episode 50 went as proposed, but 51 made up for it. Hotshot, if you hate the Sharingan so much, why did Ben give it to you on the cover? Confusing Ben for Kyo on that one. And then also, what are your guys' favorite Kekkei Genkais in the series? Let's start with that.
Let's start with a correction. Jaden had the Sharingan, I had the Byakugan.
Yeah, so I am not a ginger. Please not associate me with his kind. And what's your favorite Kekkei Genkai?
Yeah, no. I don't want him with my peeps. You got me?
No. What's your favorite Kekkei Genkai?
I'm sticking true to my guns. I'm sticking with Byakugan as my favorite Kekkei Genkai.
That's what I thought. Sharingan. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right. So anyway,
you son of a bitch.
I like the So then proceed to say I like the Byakugan, but Kimimaru's bone jutsu is pretty cool. Also, could you do an episode on the Hokage? We should do that. We should definitely do that.
An episode on the Hokage, like the lineage of the Hokages.
Exactly.
I'm down.
All right, well, it's gonna happen eventually in the 50s somewhere. It's gonna be a thing. Naruto is my favorite animes along with Soul Eater because Black Star. Oh,
thank you. Ha. Okay, you made up for confusing me with Jaden, so you're good. You're all right in my book.
All right, okay, and then there was a roast that was sent by the same user, so we're gonna read it off right now. Hotshot, what is the roast?
We are reading it off right now.
You don't have it ready, do
right
you?
Now is when we are reading it off.
Really
Shut up, Jaden.
Right
now is when we're reading it, and we're reading it right now, and it is as follows. Here it is. The roast is: I would rather spend time with Black Star than pre-Geni Naruto.
I disagree with the statement.
I do not.
And final announcement. Anime Podcasters is now on Facebook, so facebook.com/Anime Podcasters. Go give us a like. As I am recording this, we're at like 26 likes, so go show us some love on the Facebook page. Hotshot is there. I am there. Where you can comment whenever we'll put out a new podcast. Obviously, we'll post it there.
Took us about only took us about 50 plus episodes to get to that point.
Yeah, I had that set as an idea, but then it just happened. It's there. Go give it a like. Go support anime podcasters. Help us get to 100 likes. All right, this has been way too much announcement and housekeeping. Let's start. Take the lead here, Hotshot. Which are we starting with? Anime video games or the adaptations?
All right, we are starting with shows that started as animes and got their game adaptations. And then after that, I will go into the games that became anime.
Top three. In a top three. This is like from least favorite to favorite for Hotshot specifically.
Top three in order, correct?
Yes, please.
All right. So, unfortunately, I think this is the first time that a series installment of this series is actually the lowest number on the list, but I'm going ahead with it anyway. I am choosing Dragon Ball Xenoverse as number 3, obviously made from Dragon Ball, as my number 3 spot.
Are you serious? You are putting... I really thought you were going to put number 1, and this is not even a bit. I am actually surprised. Xenoverse is number 3? What?
Xenoverse is number 3, yeah.
How?
And the reason why, like, when you actually get into, like, how it plays and everything like that, like, okay, if you guys don't know, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, you create your own characters, so you actually become part of the Dragon Ball universe. And your main partner is Trunks, and your job is, as a time patroller, going into major events of the Dragon Ball universe, such as Raditz' first appearance, the Cell Saga, the Frieza Saga, all that. And the reason why I'm putting it at number 3 instead of at number 1, which is what Jaden is obviously wanting me to do, is just because the way that it plays, it's just the only way you can heal is if you have the healing items with you, and it's just really kind of convoluted with the way that it actually plays around, especially if you're playing with somebody like you usually do in a versus game. You have to go to a certain area and then register in there, and the way that you play, like sometimes they're off in the very far corner. It still plays like a single player game even when you're playing versus, is what I'm getting at.
I really, really, really like this game, and I understand, to each their own, I understand that. But the 3D battle arenas are great, no?
I was just going to say, don't confuse me for not liking Xenoverse at all, because you forget, it's my top 3.
No, I know,
not
but
my...
I know. But like, as your least favorite out of those other two, which I will not spoil, I am genuinely surprised. No, the 3D battle arenas, as I was saying, like, the way they're modeled is so gorgeous, and it's a really free to play, and you can do combos, and it's a great setup here. And plus, I really like how when you select your character, you can do either Frieza's race or Earthling, Namekian. You want to be a Majin, and like they all have like their pluses and their minuses. So there is I like the way it's convoluted. I enjoy it. It's well served, in my opinion.
I do agree that it is a really good game. Playing it as a single player, like where it comes to missions, where it comes to buying the costumes, like you can even buy costumes from famous parts of Dragon Ball's past. Like if you're playing as a female character, you can actually wear Chi-Chi's armor from Dragon Ball, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, as a fighting game, it's just really, really hard to get into when you're playing with somebody. Single player, it's great. It is an amazing game in single player. It's just when you're playing with somebody that I lose all heart in it.
Okay, let me ask you this: have you played this game more by yourself or with somebody else?
By myself, but I have attempted to play it with other people, and whenever we do, we just can't get into it. So I just register it as a single player fighter.
I mean, fair enough.
If I want to play a Dragon Ball fighter with somebody, then I'm probably going to go to Fighters, like Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Fighters is absolutely amazing. There's also an online multiplayer aspect to this game. Have you tried that out?
No, because I don't play online.
Ever?
I am not an online player. No.
Oh, really? How come?
I don't know. I just never really got into it. Always like when I was growing up playing, I always had to like pause and go do something else. So I never really sat down and just online, because online you can't pause. So it kind of takes away that freedom to leave if you need to kind of thing for me. Like there are some games I will play that are online, but most of them I buy the game, I play it, you know?
No, definitely. Like, fair enough. As an entire video game, I really enjoyed like the like obviously being a music person, I really enjoyed the music in this video game though. Particularly, it was very action packed and very timed and rapid, and you just felt like it was an action. Like if the genre had to be action, obviously there's like rock and like electronic music in here. But like if the emotion was like I need something to be like action packed, like these songs like do it, right?
If you're fighting. If you're playing on single player and you clear an area of, say you're fighting a swarm of Cybermen, for example, if you clear an area of Cybermen, then you can, like, move around in the area. So, like, I mean, if you want, you can take a breather, or you can, like, look around for materials for crafting healing items. But in the long and short of it, it's action-packed if you're fighting like a major character, like if you're fighting Vegeta or Raditz or Beerus. If you're fighting any of these guys, they're fine. If you're fighting Cybermen in a quest, once you defeat them, all action and all tension just kind of disappears.
They should have made the Cybermen their own race.
Like you being able to make a Cyberman?
Yeah, you're a Cyberman for the whole thing.
I would have loved that.
That would have been amazing. As like a bonus feature.
And I do have a bad habit of... So I have finished this game. I finished both of them, actually. But I have a bad habit of starting a save file, and then a little while later I'll start a new save file as a new race. So whenever I have that opportunity, I just take full advantage of it, and it's not a good thing to do.
Oh, man.
I never play it through to completion.
Hotshot, what are you doing to yourself?
Right? I'm just making so many characters. I love games that have, like, create your own character. Like, a lot of people say, why are you creating your own character for the story that we all know and love? It's awesome. I like it. I like me being part of that universe. So, I have a lot of fun with it. If you don't, I'm sorry, but you're wrong, in my eyes.
No, I get that. I honestly, like, really love this game. But I think, like, I'm very biased because Dragon Ball is just, like, such a great anime in my opinion, and to me it's like the center of like what popularized anime in North America specifically. It was really the big one that kind of like shipped over, and people were like, whoa, this is anime, whoa. And then like Naruto comes around and everything. As a shonen, it's a staple.
The game is definitely better than its predecessor, Battle of Z, which I'm not getting into at all. That's just absolute garbage.
I mean, I don't know enough about the game to give an opinion, so yeah.
Okay, take my word for it. It's garbage.
Okay. Those were all of my thoughts, so we can go to your number 2 if you would like, Hotshot.
We can go to my number 2. And if you're a music buff, then I have a feeling that you are going to like this one. My number 2 is Attack on Titan.
Yes! On which console specifically? Because there's different Attack on Titan games.
I play them on PS4, so I play the ones that have actually been majorly released. I've played 1 and 2, and again, diehard PlayStation fan, if you guys remember that from my past talks. And the reason why I'm picking Attack on Titan, and I will go into some spoilers because it does follow the story of the actual anime. So the story goes as far as revealing that Annie is the female Titan, and then after that it stops, and then you can go on expeditions, you can just go into the town and slay away at Titans, talk to characters, that kind of thing. And it's honestly a lot more action-packed than Dragon Ball Xenoverse, I'm gonna say, because it is literally, once you get dropped in, there are Titans everywhere. So until you kill the last final Titan, you're always in danger, you're always moving, you're always going. And they actually keep track of the, say, gas and blades, so you can actually run out of gas, you can run out of blades, and once you do, you're kind of screwed.
Oh, definitely, but yeah.
In the first one, at least, you get to play as Titan Eren, and it is awesome. You actually just, like, so you have this mode that, typically would summon, like, other scouts to come around and help you. But if you use it as Eren, he'll transform into his Titan mode, and you can just rampage. You can just destroy the buildings, you can destroy the Titans, and have, like, massive finishers. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play. I've actually been playing that and the second one almost exclusively for, like, the past week.
Right on. I just want to say a couple of things about this game. First of all, what this game spoke to me when I was watching like the gameplay footage is like hack and slash. Like this game is like
it's Titan hack and slash.
It's like literally like, let's just put the word Titan before hack and slash. That's what this game is. Obviously, it's like it's very realistic too. With like you can run out of like the gas tank and
of the blades of the gas. Yeah,
everything. So it does have a really realistic side to it. And also, I really like the fact that there's multiple playable characters that can be unlocked as you go along. Like I saw gameplay footage.
Yep.
Obviously, you have like Eren, Mikasa, Armin, but then like you can even play as Connie, Sasha, Levi, which is like, oh man, any Attack on Titan game, like if there is one box you need to check for all of the fangirls and me, is that you need to have Levi in there to be playable. I mean, it's absolutely essential. I loved Levi as a character.
I will say this, like, Jaden, you especially have been asking me like where my hate from Armin comes from. This game is where my hate from Armin comes from. And you want to know why?
I was literally going to say why. You want to know why? You don't even need to finish your sentence or start your sentence. No, go ahead.
The reason why I hate Armin so much in this is because if I am playing a game, I would like to go into the battle and actually kill whatever I'm attacking. But Armin's strength is so weak that it needs like 4, 5, 6 good hits in order to like take off a leg or an arm, let alone kill a Titan. He does have orders that he can do to the other scouts, which on my second playthrough of the first game, I actually have come around to, and I actually really do like that mechanic. But on my first playthrough of the game as Armin, I didn't know how that worked exactly, so every mission from him I just like kept taking forever. I didn't die, but it just took forever to do like a 1-star mission, and that's the easiest difficulty that you can actually get. And the stars go from like 1 to 10, I want to say.
No, I understand that, but at the same time, I enjoy that part of Armin, and just because every character is different. If all the characters were really good at like slashing through the Titans and everything, it wouldn't make it as fun. So I think you need to
I like looking back on it now, I completely agree. Like Mikasa and Levi are the best at like actually going into the fight. Connie is really good at like not running out of gas. Armin's really good at commanding and stuff like that. Like there are strengths and there are weaknesses to different characters, and I have grown to respect them. It's just when I'm just like playing the game just to play the game, like kill Titans just for the hell of it, Armin is always the last character I select. I'll always select like, and this kind of paints what kind of guy I am. I'll pick Krista, I'll pick Sasha, I'll pick Mikasa, sometimes I'll pick Eren, and go from there. But I mean, the only reason I typically pick Eren is because Titan transformation.
Right. I was gonna ask. So you've watched the first season of Attack on Titan? Is that correct or incorrect?
I haven't finished it completely. No.
I feel like you
but
started,
me playing.
No, you started this season in like 2016. You watched like Attack on Titan years ago, and you have yet to finish the first season.
I started this podcast by saying I'm a gamer, not a watcher. That means I spend more time playing a game than I do watching.
But you need to watch the first season, bro.
I own both seasons right now. I actually bought them like 2 days ago.
Will you watch them, or will they collect dust?
Collect dust.
Why
they
do you
just look
buy
pretty.
them? Why do you buy them in that case?
They look pretty.
I'm never going to understand you. I really am never going to understand you.
That's a good thing. If you do, I'll have to kill you.
And what is your top pick?
Alright, my top anime game pick from show to game is the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series.
This is the best pick so far.
And I'm saying series because they actually do go through the entire Naruto series in the series of this game. So Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, on its own, goes through the entire Genin arc. So it'll go through finding Tsunade, fighting the Sannin, fighting Sasuke at the end, Gaara, Zabuza, all of them. It'll go through the entire thing with its own spin. It won't have any fillers. It will be a constant one-on-one fight, and it's a really good fighter in my eyes. And even, so as games actually progress in this series, unfortunately, the only exception I have to say to that actually is number 2, but I'll get to that in a minute. After number 1, you can in number 1, you charge your chakra as a Genin. You have teammates that you can use for various obstacles, various opponents.
And to eat an attack in the face if you don't want to take it yourself and then eliminate them completely from the battle.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one method they do, like, if you go flying, they can catch you. Or conversely, if you don't hit the button fast enough, then your opponent can send theirs after you go flying and follow up with a combo hit.
I would
But
always
there's
use
also
like Sasuke and Kakashi and make him just do Chidori and Lightning Blade and just spam that. I don't know.
I love clashes when they actually work. Like, clashes
Oh,
are a
the
thing.
best.
Like, dynamic entry versus a Rasengan is actually a really funny combo. Chidori and Rasengan is always a good one. But again, you need, like, a clashable move, like a Rasengan and Chidori. You like, obviously, if you come after someone with a thrown kunai and someone coming at you with a Rasengan, the kunai's going to win.
You mean the Rasengan's gonna win?
I mean, the kunai's going to win because the kunai's going to hit first. Rasengan
okay.
would have done more damage, but the kunai will hit first
Okay, I
and
see what you mean, I see what you
negate the Rasengan.
Could you do a clash with 2 rotations?
I'm actually not sure, because I remember in the past oh wait, no, yeah, you can activate that on command. I'm actually not sure, because I don't know if both characters can pick Neji at the same time. I mean, maybe a palm guard and a rotation.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm actually not sure. I know you could in the original Ultimate Ninja, but I don't know if you can in Storm.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Anyway.
I see. Yeah.
In the first one, especially though, there are also giant battles, so you can fight against Gamabunta or Manda or like any giant summons you actually have a chance to fight against. One of the best fights actually is against Shikaku from Gaara.
Oh my god, I love Shikaku, the tailed beast.
But like I said, this series goes through the entirety of Naruto. Storm 1 on its own goes through the entire Genin arc and has a little bit of like side missions for you to do, like playing hide and go seek with Konohamaru's squad, as well as chasing Akamaru through trees. I know this sounds weird, but that's literally what you do. And unfortunately, the first one is also the only one that has kind of an open world feel. When you're not in a fight, you're actually walking around as Naruto in the hidden leaf.
Fish. Yeah, exactly. It's so great. It's so great. Like, or you the Naruto cannon where you throw yourself. Like, just great game.
I love it. I love the Naruto cannon. One of my favorite things to do is like climb on top of the Hokage estate and then just launch. Just fucking go. But
man,
Storm 2 kicks off at the beginning of Shippuden, and it goes all the way through the end of the Pain fight. Unfortunately, that one is just really more story-driven, so you'll go from character to character doing the fights, and there will still be like side quests for you to build relationships with characters or buy equipment from stores and stuff like that. Not like increasing your attack, but like food pills to use in battle and that kind of thing. And it does go through the entire Pain arc, but unfortunately, and I don't even know why, this intro or this installment of the Storm series is actually my least favorite. I don't know why, but Storm 2 I just can't really get into all that much.
I think it's because it's more story driven, and there's less like big fighting and big battles type of stuff. And like the first one is obviously the first one, so you have nothing to compare it to, and then we can compare number 2 to number 1. You're like, well, this is nothing like number 1, and I really love number 1. I think that it's a case of that.
Storm 1 is honestly my, out of all these, it's actually my second favorite, and I'll get to my favorite here in a sec. But after 2, 3 kicks in, and when it kicks in, it goes from the defeating of Pain, so when you go in, they're completing, or not completing, the Leaf Ninja are reconstructing the Leaf Village, and it goes from that till the Jinchuriki fight, so where you're fighting against all the tailed beasts. And fuck that fight. That fight just sucks.
It was
like
fun.
I'm saying it sucks as a player. Like the fight is awesome. Like actually going in fighting all 10 of the tailed beasts, it's awesome, especially when you get Kurama to come in and join you. But when you're just Naruto and like just Naruto, you don't have any big help or anything. Avoiding these guys, attacking these guys, it just sucks. Either that or I just need to get good. I probably just need to get good, but it still just sucks.
Yeah, no, get good, Hotshot. Come on, man.
And I think the third one is also the first time that you have Hero Branch and Legend Branch. As you're playing through the story, you have the choice to go down a hero path or a legend path. Legend path often leads to better result or better rewards, better opportunities, chances like that. And the hero one tends to be easier. But you can also, after playing through the story once, you can also go back and do the branch that you haven't done yet. So if you did a legend branch on one fight, after you finish, you can go back and do the hero And I love branch mechanics like that. I don't exactly understand why myself, but when you have a chance or a choice to make in which one you do or which side of the story that you see, it's just kind of an instant win in my eyes. I don't know why, it just is. And like I said, this one goes from the defeat of Pain to fighting the tailed beast. And it is noting to say, because I haven't exactly explained how these guys play, they are arena-style one-on-one fights, but with constant chakra dashes and constant, like, drawn forward moves, there's not really any chance to actually get away or get a breath away from your opponent.
No, definitely. Those battles are so intense to me, and I don't know about you, but like I found that like the tail beasts were much tougher than just like regular like characters, in my opinion, at least when I played.
I mean, they totally were, and this is actually one more reason why I love them. If you play as a Jinchuriki, like in a free battle mode, and you go into your awakened status, you'll bring forth your tailed beast. So like if you're playing as a certain Naruto, you'll call forth Kurama. If you're playing as Fu, for example, you'll call for the Seven Tails. Like, you have big transformations and big awakenings, like Guy and Lee can go into the 8 inner gates kind of thing. And awakening is just one of the best things.
Oh, it's one of the best most. I love it when you do it, but then like obviously there's like there's Rico here where like if you do it and then you go back and then you're like slower and you kind of don't have.
You're
much.
slower, you take more damage, your attacks get weaker and stuff like that. It's a really good mechanic that balances that out if your opponent survives the onslaught that you give them.
Oh man,
All right,
spamming those fireballs though.
Yeah, that was just. Hyo has a really bad habit of picking I believe Obito as the masked man, so I believe it was the white mask. And he would just constantly barrage me. No, Madara and the mask did it. And he would constantly spam me with like dual fireballs from Fireball Jutsu. And it was
that
just
sounds
obnoxious.
like a great time. That sounds like a great time, Hotshot.
Yeah, for him, not me.
Still sounds like a great time to me. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, shut up. And the final installment is actually my favorite installment of this series. Ultimate Storm 4 takes place through the entire thing is the Great Shinobi War. The entire story is just the rest of the war. And it goes until the end. So until Kaguya, until everything. It wraps everything up. It looks sleeker, it looks nicer. There's also something you can do along the way that actually shows branches of Sasuke's story, and you can pick up memories from past battles of Naruto, such as versus Zabuza and Haku, and it basically combines all elements of the last games into one big one, as well as, and if you're gonna hate me now, but it does include Boruto, like Boruto's storyline, and I actually like playing through it.
How far does it go into Boruto's storyline?
It goes the first movie. So like his debut storyline is what it does. So like him getting mad at his dad and then him seeing how awesome Sasuke and Naruto are at the end, like that kind of thing. The first movie is what it does.
Oh, okay. So the gauntlet.
Yeah, the scientific ninja tool.
I hate that thing. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I really like the fact that this game kind of bridges the end of Shippuden and the beginning of Boruto. It just kind of it was a good way. It's a good play on the creative part of like, you know, like we're ending Naruto, but we still want those fans to like watch and purchase and consume Naruto content. So let's make
from a marketing point. From a marketing point, it does really make a lot of sense. I honestly see it as like you finish Naruto's story throughout these 4 games, and now like we still want to give you the chance to play like as Boruto. Like they actually have some pretty cool moves, especially Sarada actually. I'm not gonna give away what she does because her moves are really cool, but just the chance to play as those characters, it's actually really cool. Even if you play with like the scientific ninja tool, seeing what it can do in an actual fight, like you controlling it, is actually pretty awesome to watch.
No, definitely agree. I mean, for me, this game, I have not played it. Watched the gameplay footage. It looks really, really, really good.
It is. Whenever like I come over to see you or you come over to see us, we need to play it at some point.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting for the invite. All right. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, it's implied. Doesn't mean I'm paying for your way, but still.
All right. That was everything I had on this game. Did you want to add anything, or do you want to start anime adaptation?
I do have one last thing. So in 3 and 4 in Naruto Storm, there is an option to wear Sasuke's clothes as Naruto and Naruto's clothes as Sasuke.
That should not be mentioned on this podcast. There are limits.
I just wanted to throw it out there.
There are limits to what we can inform our viewers, and that is beyond the pale.
There's also a Bikini Sakura. Anyway.
All right, go ahead with your anime adaptations.
So just as a final run, my picks for anime 2 game picks have been Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Attack on Titan, and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Now, on to the game 2 anime. Yes, you guys get 2 lists in the same podcast.
First, we have a sponsor. This podcast is sponsored by Hotshot's List. Make sure to purchase Hotshot's List on hotshotslist.com.
I really want there to be an option for them to like buy a grocery list, and it's just me filling a list of just meaningless stuff like 3 apples, 2 potatoes, a carrot, ice cream, pizza.
That sounds
it's
like
just
a healthy
different.
diet.
It's just different lists that I've made over the years.
Definitely healthy.
Oh, you haven't seen my actual list. There's no fruit or vegetables on that thing.
Well, show me your actual anime adaptation list in that case.
So my number 3 pick is something that you guys have talked about or have heard us talk about a couple times. You may know the anime, but the actual game that started it, Danganronpa. And Jaden, I know when Alex was a host, or when Yuki was a host, sorry, she talked about this to you a fair deal, right?
Oh, definitely. This was one of her favorites.
I believe it actually is her top favorite. Like, I'm not even sure if it's just as game or just in general, but I know she absolutely loves this series.
It looks really cool. Like, I need to get into this at some point, and I'm sorry, Yuki, I haven't yet, but I will.
If you like Death Note's detective work, like that kind of thing, you will like this. Like, it's basically Death Note combined with Saw.
Okay, I'm gonna watch this.
Okay, cool. So, if you guys don't know, Danganronpa is a detective-style mystery-solving game where you take place in a enclosed school with, I believe, 16 students, and over the course of the days, you guys start getting murdered, and your job is to find the true murderer, otherwise all of you will die. So it's set up by this bear named Monokuma, and I don't know why exactly he kidnaps everybody. I kind of forgot that part, but he kidnaps you guys. He says the only way for you guys to earn your freedom is to basically murder somebody and get away with it. If you murder someone and get picked, you will die. And if you murder someone and get the class to blame on someone else, the rest of them will die and you're free to go. So it starts as a mystery solving where you're going around looking for clues. And when it comes actual time for the court case, you're supposed to shoot the correct accusations or lies in order to actually find the truth behind who's the murderer. So words will be scrolling over the screen, and your job is to shoot them with what they call a truth bullet in order to actually get down to what actually happened.
So you basically need to narrow it down to like the absolute correct situation is what I'm understanding.
Right. And
That's quite stressful.
I will say the anime of this game, I will say that they actually do this exact thing. When they are talking in the court case and Makoto, the main character, aka your character, sees the lies or the deceit, he actually shoots them in anime. Like, words will appear and it will shatter the screen. Same way it does in-game.
Whoa.
So
That's
it
a
is
good way
actually
to translate it.
The anime is actually 100% copy of the game. The only difference being it actually animated like an anime, and you don't have to play it, you have to watch it.
What's your opinion on this? I'm actually curious to know your opinion on this. The way that this game you're describing it is translated from the anime to the game, or the game to the anime, however you want to put it, and the accuracy of it. Do you think this mechanism needs to be applied to different anime to video game adaptations specifically, just because it would make it better? What's your opinion on that?
I think so, but with some liberties. Like, being able to have some of the gameplay mechanics shown in the show, I feel like will actually, help push the game and, make people realize, hey, this was a game. It actually might be fun to play this through and learn that way instead of just watching through that way. I do think that it would make for more fun, but I'm also speaking at a complete bias because I prefer playing something than watching something. But I do actually believe that it would make for a better fit.
It'd be interesting to find out, which one works. I mean, obviously it's completely subjective, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd be.
I will
fine.
say, so Danganronpa has 3 installments, and I bought 1 and 2 on my own on a whim just to see how they do. But Yuki wanted me to experience V3, which is what the third one's called, and she bought it for me. Like, this was, I want to say, a couple years ago now, but still, she bought me a brand new game that just came out because she wanted me to experience it.
That's so nice of her.
It really is, though. Like, I honestly really do truly thank her for it because it is actually one of my favorite games in my collection.
Oh, man. I miss Yuki. Yuki, come back as a guest at some point.
Yuki, we miss you. Hi. Kyo kind of misses you.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll listen this deep into the podcast.
I mean, it's well, maybe. If you are, hi Yuki.
Yeah.
Look out your window.
Was there anything else you wanted to add? For me, like I said, like this combination you explained between Saw and Death Note and how you really need to like narrow it down. It's a great structure. I think it's one that's way more intellectual and thought provoking than anything else, though.
It really is, because it is a mystery-solving game. Unfortunately, that means after you complete it once or watch the anime, you already know the answers and who did it. So there's not much replayability. But if you're playing it for the first time, or if you just love playing through it, it is a really good fit. But the reason
That's a good
why
point on the replayability. Huh.
But the reason why I say it's Saw combined with Death Note obviously with the detective work, is after the killer is revealed, or after the classmates die, like whichever happens, they are put in a death trap that instantly goes off, and it goes off making everybody watch.
Well, what's the rating on this game? It's mature,
It's
right?
It's yeah, it's mature. Actually, come to think of it, wow, I actually have, and this is in all 6. I actually have 3 rated T's and 3 rated M's.
Hotshot, what are you doing to the youth?
I am destroying them. Hi guys, you don't have to listen to me, but it'd be awesome if you did.
All right, that's all I had on Danganronpa. What is
that's all.
That's
pick? All I got on it too. My number 2 pick for game to anime is, and I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I know Jaden didn't when I brought it up to him a while ago. But this is a series I discovered by accident named Hyperdimension Neptunia. Do you have any idea what that is, Jaden?
I've heard you talk about it a couple of times, and I've looked into it a little bit. It looks really trippy. That's one way.
Sorry, I just love how that's how you describe it.
Am I right or am I right?
Not really. It's not really trippy. Trippy is the wrong word. The correct word is meta. It knows it's a game. Like, all characters are actually fourth wall breakers.
That's what's trippy about it, in my opinion.
But it's also trippy in the way of, like, being, I think Neptunia is actually rated T, too. I thought it was M for a sec. Anyway, so the reason why I say that is your main character constantly calls herself the main protag, and she knows you're a player. Like, she knows that you're playing the game, as well as because they actually address you to the camera on numerous occasions. And that's not just the main character, that is everybody. So the way Hyperdimension Neptunia works, unfortunately, I jumped in the middle of the franchise, not in the beginning, so that's the one I'm going to talk about. Your character, main character party leader, Neptune, is the leader of a small nation called Planetoon, and lives in a continent or area called Game Industry, where she and 3 other leaders of their countries basically fight with each other over shares. So that's the power of, like, basically, like, how much faith their people have in them, because they're considered goddesses, or they're called goddesses to their nations, and the more shares a nation has, the more powerful they are. But there is a drawback to that, and that drawback being that if your people lose faith in you, so if Neptune's people lose faith in her, she will literally die.
That's quite the drawback. Okay, from trippy to what the hell?
But as dark as I make that sound, and you can't deny that I make that sound pretty dark, right?
It's there's very little brightness at this point.
It is a completely upbeat, friendly atmosphere to it. The characters are lovable, and even, like, when they fight against who they actually have to fight against, they very rarely actually fight to the death. And it actually is just wholesome, like, friendly, pleasant atmosphere, even when it seems like in the darkest of times.
That's what I drew from the artwork, the logo, the character designs. Like, this felt like a very, like, welcoming game. Like, I don't know why, but it just made me feel like Hello Kitty a little bit. I don't know why.
It's not quite that level, but I honestly don't know how to describe it to put it justice, because all four of these characters that lead their nations, they are heavy gamers, they are goddesses, they protect their nation, and they're all friends, hang out with each other constantly. Hell, they sometimes even like leave their nation and come over to Neptune's and like play games. So I'll describe those four real quick, and then after that I'll actually describe the game. So the other nations are Last Station, obviously a play on PlayStation, led by Noir. She is a complete tsundere, and that's not my word. That is Neptune's word. She actually calls her a complete tsundere, and she couldn't be more right, frankly. There is also Vert of Leanbox, obviously a play on Xbox, who is... This is actually worth noting, and I'm sorry I didn't mention it earlier. All goddesses of the nations have a little sister except Vert, and that is exactly what she wants. She wants a little sister. She is like your classy but easygoing kind of stereotype that wants a little sister, and obviously more mature than any of her other counterparts. And the last one is Blonde from her PlayStation Louis, and Louis, Nintendo Wii, you get the idea here. Her land is actually a family-friendly land, like basically where her platforms deprive of family friendliness, that kind of thing. And she is a complete book smart, quiet, shy type character until you piss her off. You piss her off, you better run.
Let me ask you this. Which one is your favorite out of all those four? Because these are very, very different characters.
Initially, my favorite character was Neptune. Like, out of these four anyway, it was Neptune, but it actually switched over to Noir.
And why is that?
I don't know why. I have a weakness for tsundere characters.
Oh, fair enough.
And each of these characters actually do have a transformation, which that's how they're able to protect their nations. And they use their shares from their people to actually accomplish these more mature looking as well as acting versions of themselves. Like, these are the people you expect to be running a nation. Instead, Neptune looks like she's 12 years old. Noir looks like she's about 17. Vert still looks like she's about like 22, so you could actually give her a pass. And then Blonde is just a lolly stereotype, so use your imagination on that one.
Yeah.
But their transformations are anything but what's the right word here? Like, basically their transformations and a lot of their jokes are relatively lewd, but they don't really reference them as lewd, except for Neptune's little sister Nepgear, who is honestly the straight man of the entire series.
Basically, okay, I see what you mean. But you were saying, I was confused as to, like, you said you were going to describe all four characters, which is what you're doing, but then you were describing the series. Weren't you describing the series before? Like, is it such a deep series that there's even more to it?
There are, like, 13 actual installments of this game, if my count is right, and that's including, like, spin-off games. Like, she comes around almost every year. She gets a new installment every year.
So this is more like a top 3 game series.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I have only played about 5 of them so far.
Okay, yeah. So you're not even halfway there, if your count is right.
Yeah. So what I meant by describing the series was like how this one plays. It is a straight up RPG. So there are equipment, accessories, items. It's a turn-based battle. You can build friendships with other characters, and etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of grinding, a lot of like getting better gear before taking on tougher opponents. And your opponents actually... So this is actually why I'm picking this one, though, because as you're turn-based, or as you're taking your turn in turn-based, your character can actually walk around behind your opponent and actually attack them from behind for more damage. But conversely, they can do the same thing to you on their turn. Like, it's not just a standstill attack where they are. You can actually move around and get distance kind of thing.
So there's a lot of strategy to it, is what you're explaining.
If you're going into it for the first time, yeah. If you're doing New Game Plus, then no, not at all.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, but I am continuing to look for like more installments of this series, and I do look forward to playing it a lot more.
No, and definitely. That is why it looks like it looks really fun to play, honestly. And I feel like this game series, for having like so many releases at this point, I mean, it's gotta be really good to have. You know, like Final Fantasy is regarded as a really good game series, and you know why? Like all of those releases, and like everyone's still like playing it and talking about it today. Like this is up there, in my opinion, is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, it really kind of is. and that's exactly why it rightfully owns my number 2 spot on this.
No, definitely. Good
Now,
pick, Hotshot. Good pick.
But I do encourage, Jaden, since I know like you're not a heavy like sit down play something type, I heavily encourage you to look at the anime because that will tell you everything you need to know about the characters.
So let's say someone never heard about this before, this like universe. Would you encourage them to watch the anime first and then play the game, or do the game and then the anime?
Personally, I would encourage them to play the game first, but if you watch the anime, it explains everything. It explains game industry, it explains the characters, it explains how they work, it explains a whole lot of things. Like basically, you only watch the anime and never even hear the games, you're fine.
Okay,
but I will say the anime came from the games, which is why it's on this list. Whoop, that was the table hit.
Why it came from this list? Table hit. Okay. No, good points. Let's move on to your final pick here because we are getting we've been recording for quite a bit already.
I'm gonna be real with you. You guys know I like the ecchi stuff. You know I like the heavy lewd jokes, heavy lewd innuendos, like that kind of thing. You know that's the anime and games and everything that I go to. Jaden, you know this probably better than anyone.
I do.
So my final pick is a game series called Senran Kagura. And if you guys don't know what that is, you are playing as an entire team of female classmates that are actually secretly ninjas. But the reason why I'm saying heavy lewd is because all the jokes they make, all the like angles and everything they make, their main power actually is changing from their usual uniform, using a shinobi scroll to strip down nude, and equipping their shinobi gear. And every attack, every fight they have results in like them losing all of their clothes in the process.
Very, very perverted game is what I'm seeing here. This one, I haven't even gotten it down. Yeah, no, I know, but it's like I just want to like very quickly.
Go, yeah.
Yeah. Like I looked at this and I was like, you know what? Like, no, thank you. Like that was like my honest take. Like I was like, I'll let Hotshot talk about it, but like I'm not convinced here, Hotshot. I'm just gonna be flat out. But go ahead, please describe it.
All right, it is a heavy hack and slash. So that means like once you're thrown into the mode, there's just a whole bunch of grunts, a whole bunch of waves and everything that you have to come up against before fighting the boss of that stage. And this series, honestly, I think it's actually it's not longer than Neptune. It has like 6 installments right now, I think. But the entire time all this is going through, it has an atmosphere kind of like Neptune, where it's extremely pleasant, it's friendly, like people are talking to each other, but like have their like inner struggles that they actually go through, but it always turns around to a happier note. It's like it is a happier based ecchi game is what I'm gonna call it on this case. And the reason why I said I haven't even gotten into the really dirty stuff is because you have the option to buy costumes for the girls, be it skimpy or otherwise, and put them in the costumes of your choosing. But it is a hack. You're not going to add anything on this one?
No, really, I'm sorry.
All right, but with each installment, there are like more characters that come around. So your main one is Asuka. So Asuka. I lost my train of thought there, but there are four different schools that come to play in the game. One is the Hanzo Academy, which Asuka is the leader of, or at least a member of. There's the Gessen Academy, which a ninja named Yumi is responsible for leading. The Hebijo Academy, led by Miyabi. And Homura's Crimson Squad, led by Homura. So there's good shinobi and bad shinobi. Gessen and Hanzo are both good shinobi, while Hebijo and Crimson are both bad shinobi. So you'd think they'd constantly like fight and bat heads and just like it's good versus evil, one of us must die kind of thing. But no, they're all friends. They know like their destiny as ninja is to eventually good must face evil, but they all become friends and they all stay friends until like that destiny has to be foretold and etc, etc, etc. So they're all friends, they're all buddy-buddied, and facing the Yoma, essentially demons coming up that ninja protect the world from.
All very intense stuff, right?
Okay, I'm like, am I selling you on it at all?
No, but like it does sound like there's a lot to the battle, obviously, and I get that. But at the same time, this is more. Yeah, go ahead.
That is the storyline of the main series, and there are a couple spin-offs which I do want to get into real quick, but go ahead and finish your thought.
Well, no, that was essentially my thought. Here, like, this is way more your field of expertise, like I said. So, no, that was my thought.
So there are two spin-off games I want to get into. One is called Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash, which the girls actually, by some form of means, get, by better lack of a word, kidnapped, and are made to play a game of water guns, basically shooting each other in bikinis or swimsuits with water guns to fill a magical seal that will seal the strongest Yoma ever. And the entire thing is honestly you going around with a water gun, shooting it's still a hack and slash, so you're shooting the grunts and you're shooting the opposing team. And that one has an online mode that you can play against.
Oh my god, Hotshot.
And there's also another version called Bon Appetit, which is a rhythm game. And while you're doing the rhythm to the song, the girls are taking place in a cooking contest, and the winner gets a wish granted. So it's actually really, really tame compared to the other installments on this list, obviously. But it's honestly still kind of fun that, like, that kind of series can just, like, have a rhythm game just about cooking, as well as a water gun fight that soaks through everything, as well as a hack and slash, which destroys everything in its path.
Intensity! Craziness!
Honestly, yeah. I will
podcast!
say... I will say this, guys. I honestly do want you to comment below if you've heard of any of the games to anime that I've talked about. I know you guys have heard of the Anime 2 game, but if you guys have heard of Cyber Dimension Neptunia, Senran Kagura, or Danganronpa, please let me know, because from what I've seen, not a lot of people actually know about their existence.
I mean,
at least in the States. I'm sure in Japan, like, everybody knows who they are, but from people who I've talked to, no one knows what they are.
They look like they have a really big following, is what I was gonna say. So I would not be surprised if, like, one or two people did hear or were fans of these games.
Please hit me up, comment, let me know how much Jaden's missing out on these games.
Make a group chat about it.
Make a group chat. I'll call it #BlackStar, and we'll just talk about stuff that Jaden doesn't like.
What was your final list, Hotshot? That was one too many jokes. What was your final list? Bye, guys. Thank you guys so much. No, we'll go ahead.
Oh, I love that. But yeah, that is actually all I have to say about these lists. I hope you guys found any of those entertaining or interested in any of them. But as a final recap, top 3 games to anime were as follows: Danganronpa taking up number 3 spot, Hyperdimension Neptunia taking up number 2, and Senran Kagura taking up number 1.
Oh,
Jane, you want to go ahead and get us out of here?
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Anime Podcasters. Let us know what you thought of it in the comments. Hotshot, plug away.
You guys can find me here talking about more stuff that Jaden doesn't like Black Star and I Hate Armin and Senran and Ecchi and everything like that. And you can also find me over at my channel, Hotshot Ginger. And I know it has been inactive, and I know I promised more activity throughout the year, and I will be attempting to get more following at that year. Which, speaking of which, Jaden, I'm going to be talking to you about that after the podcast. And you guys can follow me at Twitter at CautionGinger. And you guys can also follow our artist, which I'm going to let Jaden plug because I know how much he loves saying his name.
All of the artwork is done by GoProkyo for Anime Podcasters. So go follow him on Twitter at GoProkyo. Go hit him up in the DMs for some artwork. He's amazing. He's got very affordable rates, and his artwork is absolutely gorgeous. Yes, no, seriously, go check out GoProkyo. He's totally worth it. I was gonna ask, is Nostalgia Bros gonna be a thing? Because I really want another podcast. I really want one, and there's not been one, and I want another Nostalgia Brothers podcast.
Nostalgia Bros is a current work in progress, but as it stands right now, we are in the looking for livable conditions real quick before we actually dive harder into it.
Fair enough. Okay, perfect. So a reminder, go give Anime Podcasters a like on Facebook. Go support us to get us to 100 likes, please. That would be amazing. For myself, if you want to check me out, youtube.com/GiantMusic. Facebook page is Facebook.com/GiantMusic. Facebook.com/GiantMusic. And you can follow the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. All the links are in the description. And my Twitter is at GiantMusic. I think that's going to be everything for the podcast. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Let us know what you thought of it in the comments down below, where Hotshot kind of gave his top picks of stuff. We can do more stuff like that where Hotshot gives more takes on just different aspects of anime. So let us know if you want more podcasts like that. The next podcast might be Hokage's. We have this huge list of ideas. Plus, I have other ideas I want to talk to you about Hotshot. So we're going to have a good talker for this podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Anime Podcasters. And I will see you, Hotshot will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye!